Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Hey Philly podcast. My name is Amira,
I'm Cadence.
I'm Tamia.
and today we're joined by Limitless B and Keisha1212, and we're going to be discussing gun violence and its effects on the Philadelphia community. B.
How y'all doing?
Hi, we're good. How are you?
Um, I'm doing good. Could y'all run back y'all names one more time so I'm not
I'm Cadence. I'm
Cadence.
Katie.
I'm
Katie.
Tamia.
Amira.
Amira.
Mhm.
Okay. My name is B. Barry. Since this is we're gonna say a younger podcast. So for those that want to have my government name is Barry Miller. I'm an entrepreneur, photographer, um, a youth advocate. I work closely with Generations Restored Youth and Community Center. That's in West Oak Lane, down area. I work with teens at risk of losing their freedom. I work with a lot of kids that's going to college, that's doing a lot of good stuff also. I look at myself as just a life coach, somebody that you can call on whenever you got stuff going on.
When did you start this whole thing?
With photography or just like jumping in the community.
Yeah,
Community.
the community.
I probably did that last year. I say full time, like probably sometime in like early 2024. I was
Like-
going through a rough time in my life.
Like, what made you wanna I wanna help the community, advocate for
I feel like I always had that in my heart growing up. Like I always wanted to help people. Even when I was in high school, I was a part of a lot of like peer mediation groups. I was on what is that? Youth government in high school. I did a lot of that stuff, and then I played sports in college. So I stayed close to like my peers. And then when I got older, I just seen a lot of like the same cycles of trauma in our community. So it just made me want to help people.
You feel it's changed, like the community has changed.
From
even
when I was young.
even before you started doing this yourself, like full time,
Mhm.
how do you think it's changed throughout your life?
I feel like everything became like cold. Like everything went from like you had compassion, love, empathy, to now it just you pull a camera on.
Yeah, I feel like social media play a part in a lot of reasons why things happen to people see the desire to go viral. I feel like that's the influence from social media has played a role in the violence and stuff that's going on, because some people see it as cool, or some people see it as the term get back and all that. Like, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of in my personal opinion, I feel like a lot of the gun violence that I've seen happen is because teenagers aren't responsible and they have too much access to like firearms that aren't concealed correctly. Like you don't have to have a safe to have a gun, and it's crazy because a lot of people don't know how to handle those type of things. Even if they do, like a gun is very heavy, and like you never know what's gonna happen with it. It might be dirty or broken and just like shoot out of nowhere. So I feel like you gotta have the right training to handle any type of firearm. It doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah, and I agree. Having proper training, and that's fine. Like getting trained to properly use them, get licensed to protect yourself. It's just that's where we gotta be like mindful of.
Why we
If,
using them?
yeah, like it's accessible at a mass rate. So if you know it's accessible to the young men in your life, or if you got brothers, nieces and nephews, anybody that's younger than you, you should, and you see how accessible these things are, you should like make them aware of it. Like, and if they are into it, say, yo, you should get trained. Like you should get your license to carry. You should work on those things if you fear for your life, instead of just getting a gun and throwing your life away.
What do you think is one of the main reasons why gun violence is high in Philadelphia?
Communication,
Mm.
the lack thereof. It's just a big communication gap between young men and peers of mine. I'm in my 30s. I'm in my early 30s. And, I'm able to still have that reach with young men due to the fact that my nephews, my son, young men in my community, they see what I do, so they'll try to emulate it. in a good way, and that's how I keep my reach. But see, some men don't have that reach with young men. They only know how to just talk to them in a certain way, and that's where I come into play because I don't just sit there and just talk to kids or young men anyway. I kind of pour into them if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand.
What do you think is something that is and would help lower the gun violence rates?
That's a tricky question because I know some politicians in the city, but that's a political question, and that's due to like like really politics. Honestly, I can't even answer that on a street level though. I feel like men need to be held accountable. Young men need to be held accountable in public. The public display of not caring leads to those shootings that happened on the 4th of July weekend. Because if it was a real man around, I don't think that would have happened like that. Like somebody vocal in the community, it's always that person that's around that everybody looks up to. That can diffuse situations, and I feel like if those people speak up more, a lot of stuff would be able to be like died down, like especially gun violence. It's one cause.
So you feel like there's just like not enough role models like in the community?
Not enough leadership, like active leadership. And I don't mean social media influence. I'm talking about like people that's really in our community. I've been offered to do so many other podcasts, and I'm sitting down with teenagers on my first pod. Because it means more to me to reach the youth than it does to reach a kid my age. Once if he my age and he's set in his ways, you gotta go to rehab or something, or you gotta go to get therapy. If it's a kid that's still growing, his brain ain't even fully developed yet. You got a chance to save him and or her. So that's how I think.
How do you feel about like people who deal with trauma after like being in situations or having to deal with lost ones being lost because of gun violence? Do you think people don't pay enough attention to the aftermath of like mental health and stuff like that?
It's kind of crazy that y'all asked me that as Keisha walk in. She could speak more on the aftermath of that, but I can answer the first question you asked me. I know I was in college and we came home for a weekend. And my best friend, he went home. He lived in South Philly. He went home. He said, "Bro, we gonna meet back up, go back to school on Saturday." All right, bet. Regular weekend activities for college students. And the next thing I know, I get a call from my best friend. And he was like, "Yo, you know Hassan got killed?" And they explained it to me. I'm 18, so at the time, my first thought is revenge. But I'm a college student. I just had a baby, too. I had access to guns, but it was like, yo, if I go do that now, my daughter might not see me. I might not see now, which is present day. Or I'll be locked up.
Yeah, like why throw your whole life away even when you want to so bad because it was somebody that meant
That
so
you
much.
love.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that wasn't the first experience, but it just like throughout those type of experiences, seeing people that you go through, that you love, go through that type of traumatic experience and don't make it out, it kind of make you want to do that. So that's why I said the leadership role comes into play, where you gotta have people that's strong enough to check you.
I also feel like younger kids, and I say this being one of those people, like something will happen and you won't understand what was going on, and you get older and you like, that was crazy. Like that wasn't some little thing that just happened. Like
normalize
that's
everything.
some crazy stuff that the grown-ups around me didn't teach me. Like that's not something normal that should be going on.
Yeah, we got tough skin in Philly. If we
Yeah.
don't realize it at a young age, we got tough skin in Philly, and it's like a badge of honor, but then it's also like it's like a way to keep us closed off to a lot of love that's being sent our way. And it took me to leave the city to realize that, like, personally, for me to come back to be able to do this type of stuff, I knew I was gonna have to carry a lot. So I was like, all right. I was out in a different city just plotting. Like, all right, when I get back, this is the stuff I know I gotta go through, but it's bigger than me, so I'm gonna keep on. Just gotta find your balance, though.
Yeah.
That's for real when it comes to like coping with gun violence. 'Cause
And I feel like that mentality, the mindset to get like retaliate and all that, I feel like that's what increases the whole gun violence rate because it's really like the blind leading the blind. Because once when you're not able to like really talk about how you feel about losing somebody, the only thing you got is bottled up emotions to be mad.
Yeah.
Like everybody going to be sad, of course. Nobody's not going to not be sad. I feel like once you don't have nobody to talk to, it's like, what more can you do?
You I feel like you gotta go seek like clinical help, and that's some stuff that people be scared to say.
That's another thing. I feel like within like younger people, like I don't know that I think people don't see therapy as like cool, like not in a
It's
sense,
looked down on.
but like yeah, they do. They really speak down on like therapy, but I really feel like if like they can't, like people really started going to therapy, it would really help people like release their emotions in the right way instead of
don't even
increasing
gotta-
or making stuff worse. Because once you retaliate, it don't make nothing better.
It's
It
not
just
gonna make it better.
keep getting worse, and it's just going to be a repeating cycle.
I feel like people also don't go to therapy because one, they don't know that they need it, and two, they can't afford it. Like most of the people who do deal with gun violence live in very poor neighborhoods, which is crazy because why are you buying an expensive gun when you can be like
It's
they
crazy
just
to
don't
think
know.
about it though, right?
Yeah.
Ain't that crazy to think about?
I thought I've
Priorities.
I've
It's
always thought
priorities,
about
but then
that.
it's
I see
also, like-
somebody with brand new sneakers and a new phone, but their house look beat up, and I'm like, why not save that money on getting a new house? Like having a nice, stable, quiet place to live, so you can be good with yourself.
That's hard. That's a good question.
Thank you, B.
Thank you.
Now we're gonna
Yeah.
hear from Keisha.
Keisha.